Hello everyone, welcome to Ian's Bricks, and today I'm going to be talking about the Lego idea sets that are currently down to retire at the end of 2025. Basically what that means is Lego will obviously produce lots and lots of sets, but they eventually have to have a retirement date for them, so that's the date that they won't be making any more of these sets. So at the moment we have a list of 7 sets from the Lego Ideas range that possibly will be retiring at the end of 2025. Now, this list, obviously, it's very, very early on in the year at the moment, so this list is definitely subject to change. There may be sets that are on this list which might not retire at the end of the year, and there may be sets which aren't on the list yet which will retire at the end of the year. So this is subject to change, but at the moment, and this is based on the list provided by Brick Fanatics, they are normally quite good at knowing whether these sets are going to retire or not. It's Lego themselves that change their mind during the year, and then Brick Fanatics will provide updated lists. I'll leave a list leave a link to the list, in the description of this video. So 7 sets in total. I'm going to talk about what I think about the sets, whether I like them to build, whether I like them to invest in, where you can get these sets from, and how much they cost, and all this other kind of information, and whether I think it will retire or not. So first on the list is set 21335. This is the Motorized Lighthouse. Quite an expensive set, $259.99 here in the UK. It's $299.99 in US dollars and the same in euros. 2,065 pieces, was released in September of 2022. That means at the end of 2025 it will have been on the shelves for 3.5 years. That is probably fairly standard for this set. I didn't realise it had been on the shelves for that long. It's a very nice set. It isn't something that I've built. It's quite a big set, and obviously you get the light on there as well. So we're having the light brick in there, I think, probably pushes the price up of this particular set. In the UK you can obviously get it from Lego and lego.com, but you can also buy it from John Lewis. So if you're outside of the UK, then this set will probably be exclusive at some kind of store or a local store or retailer to where you actually are based. So do keep an eye out for that. John Lewis here in the UK do occasionally have discounts on set like this, but it tends only to be sort of 20-25%. So discounts won't be that great on this particular set. Do I like this set? Yes, I really do. I haven't built it myself. It's one of those sets I'd probably love to build, but where would I put it? I'm sort of limited on space and things like that, but it is a very nice looking set. I think this could potentially do okay. Difficult to know how this one will go, really, because it's quite an expensive set, so you'd have to have, it's quite a bit of money to start with to buy this set, and we don't really know. There have been smaller creator lighthouses in the past which have sort of done okay, but this is sort of on a different level, really. So it could do okay. It may be like the old fishing store that they had a few years ago. That was an idea set which has done very, very well after it retired, but we'll have to wait and see. This is considerably more expensive than that. I'd probably like to pick up a couple of these for investment before they retire at the end of the year. Will it retire? There's possibly. I mean, I'm slightly on the fence with this one. With 3.5 years on the shelf life, I expect it to retire at the end of the year, but there's always that niggling doubt saying, well, they might just extend it, especially if people start buying a few of them when they realise it's at the moment on that particular list. So yeah, that's definitely a set that I would be interested in buying before it retires. Next on the list is 21341. This is the Disney Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson Sisters Cottage. It's $199.99 here in the UK in pounds, $229.99 in US dollars and in euros. 2,316 pieces, was released in July of 2023. So that means it would have been on the shelf for 2.5 years when it retires at the end of this year. This is apparently a Lego exclusive set, meaning you can only buy it from Lego stores and Lego online. However, I do know at the moment you can buy it from a company in Europe called Cool Shop, and they are based in Denmark, and although they have all their prices, we've got like a UK-based website, and at the moment you can buy this set on Cool Shop for £150. So if it is a set that you like, then now would be a very good time to get it. The actual set itself, I've never seen Hocus Pocus. It's not a film that particularly interests me. I do quite like Bette Midler, but I do, for whatever reason, it's not a film that I know. This is a film that was released in the It was in sort of the mid-90s, wasn't it? About 93, 94 perhaps. It's not a film I saw at the time. It's not a particular film, especially in the UK. It doesn't have that sort of appeal maybe as something else like Home Alone or even The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I don't think it's as popular as those kind of films, but still I think there would be a market for it. The build itself looks really, really nice. If you take the whole Hocus Pocus thing out of it, the actual house and the build and everything looks really, really interesting. I just don't think it's for me. I think because I've not seen the film, I'm less excited really about this sort of set, and certainly unless I can get huge discounts. I mean, £150 from Cool Shop is okay, but yeah, I'm not so sure about this set. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it's probably something I won't. If I do get any, I'll be getting only one or two. It's not a set that I'm particularly that excited about investing in heavily, particularly. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But let me know on the comments what you think about the Hocus Pocus. Do you think it's got a sort of a cult following? Is it a set that could do potentially quite well? I don't know. I'm sort of on the fence with this one. Next on the list is 21342, the Insect Collection. This is $69.99 here in the UK, $79.99 in US dollars and in euros, 1,111 pieces, 1111, was released in September of 2023, so 2.5 years on the shelves. This is a Lego exclusive according to the Lego website, but also I found it at John Lewis, so I'm not so sure it is an exclusive. If you're outside the UK, again, this might be available in other stores as well. What do I think about this? Not so sure really. I'm not that excited about it. I remember when they did the original ideas project for this, I think there were 3 or 4 things. There's definitely a ladybird, ladybug as you'd call it in the States, and I think they didn't do that as part of it. And I just don't really think insects are that nice to display. Most people aren't really fans of insects. I'm certainly not. I find them very creepy. So yeah, why would you do a Lego set for it? I know it's all very colourful and everything, but yeah, I don't know about this. I'm not that enamoured with the set particularly. I don't think it looks particularly interesting to build. As an investment point of view, I think £70 for that is... Oh, are people going to want to pay more than £70 for a set like that? Probably not. So again, unless it's heavily discounted to John Lewis, then I can't see myself getting any or many of these particular sets, which is unusual for Lego Ideas, because generally Lego Ideas sets do very, very well after they retire. Next on the list, 21343. This is the Viking Village. £124.99 is the price in UK pounds, £129.99 in US dollars, and £139.99 in euros. 2,103 pieces. Was released in October of 2023. This is a John Lewis exclusive, so you can get it from Lego and Lego.com, but also John Lewis again here in the UK. A lot of these sets are John Lewis. I don't quite know why specifically they're getting all of the idea sets, but that's what they managed to do. This is a set that is currently showing as out of stock though on the John Lewis website, so whether they'll get any more of these before the end of the year, who knows. Will this retire? I don't know with this one. I'm a bit on the fence. I think it's a very, very nice set. 2.5 year on the shelves, so it could retire. It's very similar in my opinion to the Medieval Town Square, which is part of the Icons range. That's retiring also this year, although that's got a shorter shelf life. I do quite like the Viking Village. The only downside with this set for me, the build looks great, and I love how the buildings all fit together. There's not a lot going on behind the buildings. They're all a little bit small and pokey, and I think you only get 4 minifigures with this. It's not... There is a few little downsides to the set. I think if I could get this for around about £100, I'd probably buy a few of these. I do think they're quite nice. Not quite sure how well Viking sets do once they've retired. I know there was a Creator Viking ship that retired last year, I think it was. That's only really done okay since it's retired, nothing too exciting. So maybe a little bit like the medieval sets is that they maybe don't do quite as well as some of the other ranges, say like the Castle perhaps, which probably could do quite well. But I still think it's a decent set. It is a set actually I really like and probably would like to build it. So maybe this is one of the sets that I will get to build before the end of the year. So we'll have to wait and see. Next on the list, 21344, and this is the Orient Express. It's $259.99 here in the UK, $299 in US dollars and in euros, 2,540 pieces. Was released in December of 2023, and this is also showing as a Lego exclusive, meaning you can only buy it from Lego stores and from Lego.com. So, It's quite an expensive set, but it's a train. This has only really had just over 2 years on the shelves if it retires at the end of 2025. So I do feel as though this set might linger on shelves a little bit longer. This might get extended, so maybe keep your eye on that. Trains tend to do very well on after they've retired on Lego. And I think it's because it's got the Orient Express tie-in as well. I think this could do particularly well. There was a train a couple of years ago which was the was it called the crocodile locomotive? That hasn't done particularly well, but I think the style of the build of that particular set wasn't particularly exciting. This is on a whole different level. It's a lot more expensive than that, but also Orient Express is such a well-known train, and trains do very, very well. So I think this potentially could be a really, really good one to buy, certainly to build. I think it's a nice looking build, but also to invest in, because trains do quite well. The only downside is it is quite a hefty price tag to start with. I would be looking at trying to get this at a discounted rate, but if you can only get it from lego.com, that's unlikely. So maybe wait for a decent tie-in with a gift with purchase or double VIP points, double insider points they're called now, to maybe lessen the blow really of the price of that particular set. But a very, very nice looking set. I'd just be on the fence a little bit as to whether it is going to retire, so maybe hold off until at least the summer to find out whether it's still on those retirement lists, and then make a decision then as to whether you're going to buy any or not. Next on the list is 21346, the family tree. $79.99 in UK pounds, $79.99 in US dollars, and $89.99 in euros. 1,040 pieces. Was released in February of 2024. So this set was an exclusive at a store called The Entertainer. It was there, and I don't think it's available anymore. Went on their website and it wasn't available. It is showing also at John Lewis, but it's out of stock there as well. So my feelings would be that probably you could only get this from Lego and lego.com now. I am not a great fan of this set. I think the idea was quite nice behind it. The idea is you build a tree and you have little clips and you can put photos in. You can create your own family tree. But it's £80. It's a lot of money to do that kind of thing. You could probably do something quite simple yourself with a little stalk and a few Lego pieces coming off. Do it for a lot cheaper than £80. This is why I probably won't be investing in this set or even buying it to build. It doesn't really float the boat for me. I think if you want to buy anything, sort of a tree or something, you buy something from the botanical range. There's lots of decent plants. The bonsai tree, for example, looks much nicer than this, and is a lot cheaper as well. So yeah, I just think this is slightly overpriced. I don't think there's a great market for it. I don't think it's been particularly well received, and it isn't a set that I will be probably buying at all. I can see this set lingering around for quite a while and probably being a set that Lego puts on sale by the end of the year. So we'll have to wait and see whether that happens or not. But yeah, it probably will retire just because it's short shelf life. But yeah, it's just not that popular, I don't think. And the final set on this list is 21347. This is the red London telephone box. It's £99.99 here in the UK, $114.99 in US dollars, and the same amount in euros. 1,460 pieces. Was released in February of 2024. Now, according to the Lego website, this is a Lego exclusive. However, you can actually buy this from Very here in the UK. Very is sort of a catalogue company, so the chances are, if you're outside of the UK, that you might be able to buy this elsewhere. I'm not sure this will retire. I just don't feel this has been on shelves long enough. I think it's a great looking set. I really like how they've done it. The phone box looks fantastic. There is a place as well where you can sort of rest your phone on, which is a little bit weird, which doesn't quite work for me, but there's not a lot of negatives really with this particular set. I do think there's a lot going for it, and I'm sure I've seen these in, I think it's maybe some Costco stores, not maybe here in the UK, but certainly probably in the States. These have been available in other places outside of Lego in the past as well. So even though Lego say it's an exclusive, this may be available outside of Lego. If this does retire, I think it could be a very, very good set. I think it's a nice looking set. It displays very, very well. So I'll just sort of, again, be keeping my eye on this as to whether it will retire. Maybe check later on in the summer. If I see any deals or discounts, I think at the moment it's on Very, but it's not reduced. It has been reduced in the past, but I think this is quite a nice set. It's just under £100 here in the UK. So I think it could be a set that could do quite well once it retires. And it looks really great as well. Again, not a set that I've built myself, but I've watched a few few reviews on it, and really only got positive things to say about this. I just think it's a really, really nice looking set. So that is pretty much the list covered at the moment. So as I've said before, this list isn't a final list of everything that definitely will be retiring at the end of the year. Some sets may be added to this list, some sets may be taken off the list. So do keep an eye out for these lists. I will try and do updates as the year goes on as to whether this will change or not and what has changed. Yeah, seven items on the ideas range. I do like idea sets. I think they have I think it's just the interesting mix of idea sets which I quite like. There's a couple of duds on there. Definitely the insects in the family tree aren't things I'm that interested in, but all the other sets I think are pretty good. Yeah, possibly I will be investing at least with one or two of them. I might be trying to get a few more, but I say some of them are quite pricey, so I think getting any kind of big volume with this those kind of sets might be difficult. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully doing some more themes and things like that in the near future for sets that are retiring, so keep an eye out for those videos. But that's it, pretty much it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.